Hi, this is Vicki Matranga of IHA's Innovation Theater and Smart Talks Educational Programming. Thank you for taking the time to learn with IHA today. We'll be hearing from Peter Greene of Numerator, who will speak about leveraging category insights for growth opportunities. But first, before we begin, a few housekeeping notes. You can ask Peter questions during his presentation, and we'll take them at the end. Hover over the Q&A button at the bottom of your Zoom screen and type in your questions. And I'll be back after Peter's presentation to engage him in this conversation. This program is being recorded and will remain on our website, theinspiredhomeshow.com. Today, we will learn from Peter Greene of Numerator, a consumer data research agency. He was scheduled to speak at the Innovation Theater at the Inspired Home Show in March, and he kindly offered to share information that he would have presented at the show, but now with the added insights from recent shopper behavior. For more than 25 years, Peter Greene has enjoyed helping retailers and their vendor partners in the housewares industry grow. Since 1993, he has been a trusted advisor, who has helped leading brands leverage market research to understand their shoppers, develop new products, and enhance their marketing programs. From building out a housewares business for another research firm to now developing Numerator's OmniPanel capabilities, Peter brings new and innovative research and insights to the housewares industry. Today, he's going to share timely data and layered interpretations that you can apply to grow your own business. Peter speaks to us today from South Carolina. Numerator maintains an office in downtown Chicago. It is a leading provider of omnichannel insights into what and how consumers buy and identifying who those consumers are. They bring together omnichannel marketing, merchandising, and consumer purchase and sentiment data to make pursuing new possibilities simple and targeted for brand, retail, and agency clients. So take it away, Peter. I'll be back at the end.
Thank you, Vicki, and thank you all for taking the time out of your day to attend. Hello to those of you who are on the phone that I know, and nice to meet those of you who I have not yet met. As Vicki mentioned, I've been involved in the housewares industry for over 25 years and have been fortunate to work with many different companies to help them leverage insights to grow. We'll be discussing a great deal of information today and reviewing how our clients, with our support, have put insights into action to uncover opportunities and drive sales. But first, a little bit about Numerator. As Vicki mentioned, our corporate offices are located in Chicago, Illinois. We have a global presence and over 1,600 employees. We're backed by Vista Equity Partners. We have over 1,600 clients, and we're very fortunate to work with 60% of the Fortune 500 and 40% of the Global 100. These companies choose to work with Numerator because we have the fastest and broadest set of omnichannel market data insights in the marketplace today. And as many of us have been struggling with working from home and some of the challenges we face, our corporate people are actually in the process of moving offices when COVID struck. So we've got a lot of displaced workers who have been challenged to schedule time to go into our old office and pick up their stuff to move to our new office, which we don't know at this point when that will open. For those of you unfamiliar with Numerator, in 2018, our parent company, Vista Equity Partners, brought together MarketTrack and their leading industry path solutions and InfoScout's industry-leading OmniPanel solutions to form Numerator, creating a complete end-to-end solution for our clients. The full Numerator product suite can deepen your consumer understanding beyond just their purchase behavior. Numerator surveys help you understand the why behind the buy faster. Additionally, we have a host of path products that help you understand all the consumer influencers along the path to purchase. Our bottom line is that we help you understand consumers in order to unlock growth. Today, we will be focusing on insights derived from our OmniPanel service. Numerator has the largest, most representative panel in the United States with over 450,000 panelists. Our consumer information both purchases based off of actual consumer receipts as well as their e-receipts and full Amazon baskets, along with our survey data, which are all captured through our proprietary app called Receipt Hog. For those of you who have not seen the Receipt Hog app, I encourage you to go to your operating system's app store and download the app and see for yourself how engaging it is. I do want to stress the Numerator OmniPanel is an opt-in panel, and panelists are informed up front during their sign-up process that we are collecting this information for market research purposes. The reason I mention this is because transparency with our panelists and our clients is one of the key tenets of Numerator. Today we will cover an overview of both people and shopper insights, review some real-life case studies on how our data was leveraged to uncover opportunities and drive growth, and close with how insights will help as we all move past COVID into a new normal. Our industry is evolving. No longer is counting boxes and market share enough to win at retail. As we all know, shifts were happening before the impact of COVID-19. The pandemic and all the measures taken to combat it have accelerated shifts in consumer behavior like never before. We'll take a quick look at this in relation to consumer insights as well. The modern housewares consumer is constantly and rapidly evolving. Online has been steadily growing in the houseware space for years. However, even with Amazon's decrease in sales during COVID period, this channel is up 4 points between March 1st and the end of April of this year. Private label is a force in the houseware space and increasing this year. 95% of the households have purchased a private label product within the houseware space. Voice shopping continues to grow, and BOPIS, buy online, pick up in store, has been growing steadily but spiking during the last few months. Last month, we at Numerator hosted a webinar and presented some insights on COVID's impact on a broad range of durables products. As part of that work, we asked consumers to tell us their reasoning for purchasing or not purchasing certain categories. This slide reflects consumers who have purchased certain durables categories, but not all, and we asked them about their future purchase decisions. We then indexed those planned versus unplanned responses to highlight the categories where sales, as we like to say, have been pulled forward the most versus those who have been postponed. So if you're looking at the left side in the top left, no surprises here. Categories related to necessity, entertainment, comfort, and convenience all saw more sales related to COVID initially than those that weren't immediate needs. In addition, those categories tended to be lower investment categories versus those of which consumers had stated that they were postponing. What I'd really like you to focus on is this last column, the postponers. For housewares categories, including small appliances, nearly 10% of the households surveyed said they planned to buy something in these categories, but with all the uncertainty, they were going to wait. These people represent a significant opportunity for both retailers and vendors as the country continues to emerge from the stay-at-home orders and retail opens back up. We also know that during COVID and as we are emerging, we have a great understanding of where and how consumers are shopping. We know COVID has increased online sales and drawn new shoppers. We asked consumers how their online shopping behavior was impacted. 30% stated a replacement for in-store purchases, which makes total sense. 15% using BOPIS options, and 12% are finding new websites to purchase products they want, opening up new opportunities for those places. They are doing so through their smartphone more than any other connected device and have strong opinions on why online works for them, which you see on the bottom right half of your screen. Saves time, saves money, helps them find hard-to-find items. This has dramatic implications for both retailers and vendors. With Amazon's approach in durables well documented, other retailers who had been directly competing have had the opportunity to bring in new durable shoppers and must find ways to keep them coming back. For vendors, how do you make sure you're partnering with these retailers to drive sales to your brand? For both retailers and vendors, if smartphones remain the predominant source of shopping, How are you all going to ensure their optimal experience? We can clearly see the impact of online has had in the way consumers are purchasing small appliances during COVID. Looking at January, from the beginning of the year through May 9th, right, you can see that Walmart is experiencing substantial growth both in-store and online. Target's share is up nearly 50% versus the same period 1 year ago. Their .com business has nearly tripled in share versus last year. Using the index, you can see they're at 292% versus a year ago. Some have fared better than others. Bed Bath & Beyond continues to struggle due to closures, and their .com did not offset any of that impact from those closures. The same can be said for Kohl's. Understanding and adjusting to these changes are opportunities vendors need to capitalize on and be prepared to readjust if the growth is unsustainable. Numerator helps our clients stay on top of the latest changes with access to the purchase behaviors as well as the attitudes and opinions and interests of these modern consumers. Numerator delivers to clients a full array of insights. We help clients leverage people insights, such as demographics and psychographics, along with shopper insights that understand what households are buying and how much they are spending. Let's talk about people insights. People insights include things such as demographics, psychographics, media consumption, basket affinity. What I mean by basket affinity, for those who are unfamiliar with the term, is what else is in the same basket when a product is purchased. Household affinity, what brands and products those households have already purchased. And cross-purchase behaviors that look at the overlap of consumers who buy two different products. Each can be utilized individually, but opportunities can be found when used in conjunction with each other to provide that deeper understanding that allows you to market to them better than you ever have before. If you're not familiar with any of these terms, feel free to ask in the chat and I will answer them at the end, or feel free to reach out directly to us and we will send you some additional information. To showcase some of this, let's take a look at households who have indicated that they are vegetarians. In general, vegetarians over-index for food allergies. They dine out more frequently. They prefer organic or natural ingredients, are very concerned about the environment, are very extremely active, and are spenders, not savers. This is looking at all vegetarians, regardless of any other activity. But a household diet doesn't alone tell the whole story. Digging further, vegetarians over-index as millennials. They're 1.5 more times likely to be Hispanic or Latino, and nearly 70% more likely to have never been married compared to meat eaters. Knowing this about these consumers can help refine marketing messages, advertising, and distribution. We also know that the top 3 stores who capture the most of the vegetarian dollars are Walmart, Amazon, and Target. But compared to meat eaters, they spend less at Walmart and they spend significantly more than meat eaters at Costco and Target. We'll come back to vegetarians in a second. Let's talk about shopper insights. So people insights helps you understand things about shoppers, such as their attitudes and perceptions about things and how they consume media. Shopper insights uncovers opportunities by tracking consumer purchase behavior. At Numerator, we have the largest static panel, or longitudinal panel, some might be familiar with that term, comprised of 275,000 households that allow our clients to track their purchases over time. As I mentioned at the start of today's talk, gone are the days of category market share. Important, yes, but not as important as understanding the share of wallet across the full suite of categories you as retailers and vendors play in. I'll give you an example. It's great that you can sell a coffee maker to a consumer, but they won't be back in that specific category for a number of years. But more than likely, they will buy a toaster or a toaster oven or a fry pan, a deep fryer, kitchen storage, or some other housewares product that you market. With this information, for the first time, you can understand the lifetime value of a household and their brand and retailer loyalty. Category share is great to know, but we tell our clients your share of countertop for all small electrics in the household, or your share of cabinet for all housewares is even better. If someone buys your brand for one category, but not in another that you make, understanding why you lost that shopper can help you identify ways to close the next one. Because again, they bought that coffee maker, they're not coming back for a while. How do you make sure they buy your toaster? So let's come back to our vegetarians. But now we want to focus on a specific category. This happens to be cookware. Cookware buying vegetarians index even higher for millennials, Hispanic, Latino, as well as never married than median cookware buyers. As a manufacturer retailer of cookware, knowing this next level of detail allows you to focus deeper and win with these buyers versus your competitors who don't have this understanding and don't market to them accordingly. Another way to uncover opportunities is through focusing on a retail account and understanding what the opportunity is for that account at that retailer. As I mentioned, vegetarians shop Walmart, but their spend on cookware at Walmart is less than their median compatriots. So let's break that down a little bit further, and hopefully you can follow along. Nearly all of America shops at Walmart at some point during the year, but 92% of those households who identify as vegetarians shop at Walmart. Of those households, 12.6 of them have made a cookware purchase in the last 52 weeks. Within Walmart, Walmart's captured 64.6% of all vegetarian household cookware purchases, and their annual buy rate is $28. The remaining 35.4% of the purchasers bought somewhere else, and their buy rate is $34. Target, Amazon, and Costco are the three stores these households buy from. Numerator has the ability to help our clients understand what is driving consumers not to purchase at Walmart and purchase at these other retailers at the brand and item level as well. Clients leverage this information to help their retail partners understand the category performance within their store and uncover new opportunities to drive growth at either the brand or item level. So when looking at cookware, it presents a great opportunity for Walmart to capture more sales. Through analyses like this, we help clients understand not only what's happening, but also the size of the prize so that they understand if the opportunity is large enough to pursue. Clients also often leverage surveys along with this information to uncover drivers of leakage. Was it price, assortment, availability? Surveys help inform what other specific marketing actions they should be taking to capture as much of the opportunity as possible. I'm now going to review some client case studies. I'd like you to note that Numerator works with clients in a variety of ways. All of what I'm about to share with you can be done on a one-time project basis or through our on-demand platform that is updated daily. For our first example, we worked with a coffee brewer client to address an opportunity to understand consumers' decision process when shopping the coffee maker category. By understanding that brand, price, and features in that order drove the purchase decision, the client was able to better communicate brand information, work with their retailers to alter the way their products were displayed on the shelf, and create additional in-store communication points. This drove a 1% or approximately $10 million growth opportunity for them in the largest of the small appliance categories. And as Vicki mentioned, this will be available, so I know there's a lot to read on the slide, but you guys will all be able to see this on the IHA and the Numerator website later today. The next example, one of our personal care clients in the hair appliance categories, leveraged Numerator insights to help identify a $14 million opportunity for Amazon, at Amazon. They could identify this by looking at our data that showed that their shoppers were 2.5 times more valuable to Amazon than their competitors. And that's because we have total basket from Amazon.com. So we understand not just the first item that was sold, we understand everything that was on that ticket when they purchased it. So those consumers were more valuable to Amazon than their competitors, and that only 7.5% of their total buyers of their brand made a purchase at Amazon for their categories. Not only did these insights uncover a great opportunity for the retailer, it generated $250,000 in incremental business in the fourth quarter alone for our client, just by helping them close 1% more of the shoppers who came to their site. Another example is where a client leveraged our insights to convince Kohl's that a secondary placement of a complementary item would help drive sales of that product. By showing Kohl's that their dinnerware shoppers aligned well with the shoppers of another product category that they marketed, it would drive incremental trips, resulting in incremental purchases. This resulted in a 17% increase across total brand sales for the two categories, making their retail partner very happy. And it used a combination of our different data sets. So we used some information on dinnerware purchasers as well as the category level information about multi-cooker shoppers. So we can combine data sets to do all kinds of analyses for our clients, and this is a great example of it. The next case study, and I think this is the last one we'll be showing today for case studies, is another personal care appliance client of ours leveraged a variety of different data points, inclusive of demographics, sales leakage analyses, a variety of shopper metrics, such as buy rate, once again the annual spend of a household on a category or group of categories, to show that including some higher priced items or SKUs in a new category layout or mod would increase sales. The retailer agreed with the findings, made the recommended changes, and was poised to capture a $22 million return on their investment. The client didn't fare too badly either, with a return on investment potential of $11 million. Let's think forward for a minute. Those were just a few ways that our clients have leveraged people and shopper insights to drive significant ROI, and that was during far more predictable times. I want to spend the final few minutes of my talk to address the changing consumer behavior and the opportunities it will create. We all know consumer behavior has been changing, and we all know that the housewares industry has fared well up to this point. 67% of consumers have stated they are making more meals at home during COVID, but more importantly, nearly half of them say that will continue after. You combine this with nearly half of the population also saying they're baking more at home, and 22% of them expecting that to continue. That's great news for us. Opportunities abound for the housewares industry. Looking further, for those that expected a stimulus check, we asked how they plan to use it. Depending upon their income bracket and, of course, their employment status, more on this in a minute, consumers indicated that for the first round of stimulus efforts, they would use the funds to pay bills, right, with those with lower incomes indicating they will spend it on essentials, while mid and high income have indicated they will put it into savings. For non-essential categories, like housewares and appliances, no more than 12% of any income bracket earmarked that money for those categories. Yet, as we all know, many non-essential categories saw significant increases in the first full week the stimulus checks were received. This varied by income level and by category, but our industry within the home and garden grouping here certainly benefited from all income levels. Middle income jumped the most, while higher income chose higher ticket electronics as their stimulus splurge. Of course, you see lower income with an incredible spike in electronics, but that's off a much smaller base. But the point here is many clearly did not choose to pay the bills they indicated they would. We've seen how consumers have changed during COVID. We've shown how the power of shopper and people insights can drive growth and result in strong ROI. And we've talked about which categories consumers have focused their use of their first round of stimulus on. However, more change is coming. Consumer behavior will continue to change as we have officially entered a recession. Consumers are deeply worried about the economy and a second wave of COVID. The second wave is starting to hit us now as retail reopens. A second stimulus package has been looming. What will consumers do with this money? How will that differ by income level, by employment status? As I mentioned earlier, we know that around 10% of the housewares purchases have been postponed due to the pandemic. Will these consumers be our fourth quarter opportunity, or will more emerge? We at Numerator are working with clients to help prepare for this. Our data that is updated daily provides the timeliest insights available in the marketplace. We have developed and are continuing to develop new capabilities to help our customers. Our COVID-19 groups have been available for several weeks now and being utilized by clients. These groups include insights into how consumers are dealing with COVID, including what they feel the financial impact on their household is, what precautions their households are taking, along with what their primary concerns about the pandemic are. That's great, and our clients love it. But what our clients are most excited about is our dynamic recession segmentation. The purpose of this offering is that it is dynamically tracking people groups and how they're impacted by their current situation and evolving as that situation changes. So we are updating their status routinely. Lead clients are currently leveraging these insights to understand who their consumers will be in Q4 and beyond. Understanding those who are worried but okay in Q4 are potential customers, and focus should be given to them now. Moving into 2021, that could all change, and those who are hit hard could be back to being worried but okay, and they may look different than the current group. Clients are leveraging this and using this information to adapt to the changing marketplace and adjusting messaging, advertising, and promotion to meet these clients or these customers where they're at. In closing, no matter who your insights provider is, I want to urge the industry to embrace this data now more than ever. Both retailers and their vendor partners should be understanding consumers as deeply as you can. POS data is not enough. Demographics are not enough. A combination of longitudinal purchase behavior in conjunction with survey to understand the why behind the buy are the new table stakes data that the industry is relying on to uncover meaningful growth opportunities. Consumer behavior is changing at an unprecedented rate. Understanding dynamics by channel, retailer, and category, finding opportunities to drive incremental sales in existing categories by attracting new buyers, growing store profitability by increasing buy rate and purchasing of adjacent categories will be critical to driving growth. Online, buy online, pick up in store present unique opportunities to find ways to drive add-on purchases. Being able to understand categories that are most often in the same basket with your product or which your product are in with will help shape new ways of driving attachment. Understanding these types of purchases and the consumers who make them provides opportunities for your brand, your store, to best serve them and capture their purchases. Our industry is strong, but we must evolve our understanding of our consumers to grow stronger. I know this was a lot of information to take in, and I think I did it in a record 22 minutes or something like that. But I want to thank you very much for your time today, and I'd be glad to take any questions from the audience.
Thank you, Peter, for your great presentation, packed with so many insights and data points. There's a lot of information there. Can you hear me, Peter?
I sure can, Vicki.
Okay, great. We do have a few questions, and I'd like to have a little conversation here, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Okay, so I thought it was really fascinating how you phrased your why behind the buy, and how you outlined the many ways you analyze purchase data. So you mentioned 95% of households purchase private label housewares. Does your data show this by category, brand, or item?
Absolutely. So Mainstays, Pioneer Woman, Room Essentials, all of the private label brands from the retailers that are having an impact on our categories, we get access to who those buyers are, what categories they're playing in, what price people are paying for it. So yes, and that's, I mean, a lot of our clients need to understand that, since some legacy providing data doesn't allow you to see it at that level.
I see. So building on that then, how deep is your history on this information per customer?
So Numerator was founded, or InfoScout/Numerator was founded in 2011, but for durables, we keep 3 years, we keep 5 years in our platform, but we've grown our panel so much in the last 3 years. We typically provide guidance to our clients to look at the last 3 years of history.
I see. So then when you mentioned surveys for B2B or B2C, how do you conduct them? For instance, if I wanted to sign up to be considered in your panels of shoppers, how often would I hear from you? Or similarly, if you signed up with a business of some sort, how do the surveys work for them?
Sure. One of the things that makes Numerator unique is our ability, so everything we do is through the app, right? Customers, or panelists, I should say, upload their receipts or give us access to their email and their Amazon accounts all through the app. And we have proprietary technology that drives our surveys right back through the app. So one of the things that our customers say that they really enjoy about working with Numerator from a survey perspective is our speed. So if you think about traditional survey research, you have to go out and mail out a screener to find people, and we're making this up, people who bought coffee makers at Walmart in the last, let's say, 90 days, right? And you're going to screen through a bunch of people just to find people who bought coffee makers. Then you're going to screen through a bunch of more people that said they bought it at Walmart, and it's all recall based. So you'll never really know if they bought that product there. Where Numerator, not only do we have the ability to survey known category shoppers, because we have the receipt data and they're panelists in our panel, we know that Vicki went into Walmart on Tuesday and bought a coffee maker. And we also have the ability to what we call trigger a survey right in the handset. So typically when a panelist uploads a receipt, within 24 to 36 hours, our OCR capability and machine learning have extracted all the information from that receipt, and we know that somebody went into Walmart, a panelist went into Walmart, and they bought a coffee maker. Our system can also then automatically trigger a survey about coffee maker purchases right back to that handset. So from a speed perspective, there's no more timely way to get feedback on a purchase than using our trigger survey capability.
So that means, to your example, if I were a panelist and I bought a coffee maker, I upload a receipt?
Yeah, so if it's a paper receipt, when people opt into our panel, right, that's what they're asked to do. So for all paper receipts, just snap a picture and you're done.
Oh.
All they need to do.
I see. So it's actually self-generated. You don't get that document from the retailer. You get it from me because I spent the money.
Correct. Right. This is all panelist-based. We are not beholden to any retailer for their information.
Got it.
Again, goes back to your previous question of why we can share with our client base all the private label information.
Got it. I understand. Okay, now another question from the audience. You mentioned a one-off project and one on demand. Are you able in this forum here to talk about the different price estimates for both of those products, or would you prefer to take that kind of question offline?
I can tell you that we can do either or, right? And it honestly, pricing depends on what the needs are for the client. And you know, the beauty of what we do at Numerator is we work with small clients to big clients. When I joined here, my focus is to help as many people in the industries we serve as possible. So we're more than happy to have the conversation with each and anybody who's interested, and we'll figure out the best way to work with you. You know, because to be completely transparent for everybody on the call, there are some clients who really, you know, while the platform is great, it may not be a good fit for you, because sometimes you just don't have the manpower to harness the data in there. So we work with clients in the sense that we do all the work, almost as an outsourced research arm. So we're more than happy to figure out the best way to meet your client's needs, Vicki.
Okay, all right. So then there's one more question related to COVID. I believe that your slide said that your timeline was January 1 to May 9. So for analysis purposes, how flexible are those dates, and how can users create their own dates?
Sure. So, and again, either through the platform or working with one of our consultants. As I think I also mentioned, if I didn't, I was remiss, I apologize. Every day we're getting receipts, right? Over 450,000 receipts a day from our panelists, right? So we have the ability to cut our consumer data by exact days if there's enough sample to support the research.
I see.
So so people can, if clients have a different definition of when they feel COVID started, we can adjust the dates to meet their view of it.
Oh,
and
that's
it's also
really
helpful in analyzing other back to school, holiday, with our home improvement clients, spring Black Friday for the home improvement space. So it's very, very flexible.
Oh, here, another new question came in. Does Numerator research second-hand online vendor impacts? If so, what measure of impact has that had on retailers?
I'm not sure I follow what if you're talking about refurbished product.
That might mean something that perhaps the questioner is thinking of consignment shops or resale shops.
I can't speak to those specifically, but I can tell you that, we do capture like the Walmart marketplace, the Amazon third-party marketplace. So if those are, some smaller retailers and consignment shops, we're able to capture that information through those platforms.
I see. Okay, well then, let's. Oh yes, she's back, and she says yes, like rethread.
Yeah. So we'd have to. This is consumer panel information.
Yes.
Very valuable, right? But to be completely transparent, in a store like Rethread, even out of the 275,000 in our static and 450,000 active panelists, we have to capture enough of those receipts to report on them.
I see.
So we capture those receipts, so a good example, we capture a ton of receipts from a lot of places, but we may not, what we call, transcribe all of them.
I see.
Right. We'll know the banner, and we'll know the total spend of that on that receipt, but the item level may not be extracted, only because there's not enough sample to report on.
Yes, I got it. Okay, well, that seems to be it for questions then, Peter. So thank you again. It's really exciting to hear about this granular level about how all this works in your research. The recent shopper purchase information was really valuable. So thank you again, Peter, and I'm grateful that you were able to join us from South Carolina today.
Yeah, Well, Vicki, as I said, I always appreciate the support of the IHA and helping out this industry. Hopefully there's some good takeaways for the audience. And if you have any questions, or if I live in South Carolina, but as Vicki knows, I'm a New York boy, and I tried to slow it down as best I could. Yeah, I tried to do the best I could to slow it down. But if you have any questions, either reach out to us at the contact information here on the slide, or through LinkedIn, or peter.greene@numerator.com.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for your contact information. I encourage our audience to keep in touch with you. I'm sure they have plenty specific questions they're going to want to ask you, and so I hope that you can follow up, and they can follow up with you and you with them. Peter will be happy to get acquainted, so contact him. So this is Vicki Matranka saying thank you for joining us today. These webinars appear under the Education tab at our website, theinspiredhomeshow.com. We have some excellent programs ahead next week to introduce you to other information resources, so please check the schedule on our website. Thank you for joining us today, and hope that you'll be back next week for the next presentations. Thank you. Bye.